All right. It is that time of the day, that time of the month, that time of the week. When back when it was a weekly show, we would say that time of the week. But I guess you could just, keep it down to it's that time of the month now. But makes you sound like we have some hormonal problems, right? But anyway, it's time for another edition of Talk of the Day. Don't even know if it's an actual podcast, but it's just, us sitting down, me talking to you, ranting out to the camera, technically, that I send out to the web for whoever may stumble upon. I didn't get one last month, and I don't even know if I had one February. I think I did. I think I did the roadmap episode in February, and I'm only one episode. I'm only 1 month behind. I had a plan for last month's episode, but I didn't execute it. Last month I spent my time in other things. Mainly, kind of. Well, last month was March, right? So I kind of got myself in a good situation in March in terms of life. So I was busy doing other things and family things, I guess you could say. Just did not prioritize time for the podcast. Not making excuses. I'm telling you that the reason I didn't do it was because I put my time somewhere else, and that's the reason we don't do anything. To be honest, it's more than just we don't feel like it, which that is a big motivator, yes. But we don't put the time in to do something. Today I am drinking some John Wick pre-workout. Bringing back the pre-workout. It used to be pre-workout drinking every time, and if we didn't have pre-workout, me and Sinister was doing it, we'd be drinking out alcohol. Which those who watched back then they would know. A lot of those podcasts ain't around no more because when I redone the concept of the show, I'm really just doing it by myself, which that a falling out thing was more of a he had a baby. I understand. My family was growing as well. He moved, and then during that time that he was moved, we kind of grew apart. He came back. We attempted to do a podcast together, and I mean, it ain't just a podcast. We hung out a couple times too. Hell, I got married last year, and he was my best man. So we were still friends. Uh, it's just life is taking us in different directions, and I've changed, um, and he's changed. But at the same time, we're supposed to change. Change is not a bad thing. It can be perceived as bad and scary, but change is a sign of growth, and change can also be a sign of setbacks depending on how you go. Everything's a double-edged sword, right? I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. The topic of the day, obviously, if you read the title, is small things matter. But before I get into that, I want to attempt to play not the full video, but a little bit of a video, a motivation video, uploaded by Absolute Motivation. And if I can remember, I will link the video in the description. That way you can go check out the full video and give the guy credit, man. He needs the credit. I'm giving him credit, man. He's been around for years too. I remember when Absolute Motivation first came out, and I subscribed to him, and I was listening, and I see a lot of his video editing work getting better, and he should keep it up, man. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, not a whole lot of it. Hopefully, it's all mapped up correctly. We'll see. It's called "I'm at Rock Bottom." So I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then we're gonna hop in and talk about small things that matter. It's probably not gonna be that long of an episode today, but also if you notice the trend of 2025's episodes, it's not been that long. Trying to get more consistent with it. I have the goal of getting more consistent with it, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and start playing it. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and full screen it, and then my alt tab over here, and then hopefully if I do this, aha, there we go, it works. I'm gonna mute my mic while this plays, so you don't hear me talking. So enjoy.
The night is darkest just before the dawn.
No, you have to hit rock bottom. That's the way up.
So you're at rock bottom. Good.
There's only one way. One direction. If you're at the bottom, there's only one way. But you gotta look up.
You know something? There is nothing better than a redemption story.
Rock bottom. Bottom isn't when you experience the worst moment of your life.
Definitely.
Bottom is when you change.
If there's no struggle, then it's nothing. There's no journey.
Even if you're at rock bottom, The only place you can go is up.
If you don't want to wake up, then
What have you got to lose?
exactly.
The struggle of coming back is beautiful.
I promise you, the dawn is coming.
There is a mountain whose peak is so tall it is hidden behind the clouds. I want you to look up at it.
Make a commitment to stop the thing that is destroying you and start the thing that's going to build you.
Because you're not everything you could be, and you know it.
Understand that this mountain is no foreign entity. It is you. You are the mountain. And today, you stop cowering from your own potential.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you have to go, nothing is working in my life. I'm miserable, I'm depressed, my career isn't going in the right way. Okay, maybe I'm the source of it. And when you hit rock bottom, you're willing to take anything. The pain of looking at yourself isn't maybe as bad as the hole that you've dug yourself into.
People talk about hitting rock bottom. Right? When you get to a point where you really can look at yourself objectively and think like, holy shit, what have I been doing? Like that's a state, that's a mental state where you are very prone and you have a very high potential to be able to say, okay, I can't do this anymore. I got to change something.
But the one thing that remained constant was every time I was down, every time I hit rock bottom, somehow I was able to put everything aside and say, right, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to get back up.
Where they reach rock bottom, but when the excuses all go away.
All right, that's all right there. When excuses all go away, what's left, right? I'm not sure what he's saying there. I'm turning that off, going back to me. Hey, how you doing? That was just me trying something new. I'm gonna play a couple clips here and there. Not today. That was the only clip I'm playing today. But every now and then in the podcast, I'm gonna play that. But the big thing about it's talking about rock bottom. When you hit rock bottom, that's a good thing. And honestly, I believe setbacks and hard times create great times. The cycle of life. Rock bottom is beautiful. Yeah, when Mike Tyson said, I think he said in that video, yeah, you got to hit rock bottom. That way you can actually work hard and pretty much spring back to the top. So problems are a sign that we're alive, right? And problems, you ain't got to be at rock bottom. You can have a problem that you want to fucking change, but rock bottom is the greatest motivation, but also the greatest destroyer. The decision you make at the crossroads determines the effect. And I need to get my webcam back hooked up. But the problems that you set up for yourself, the way you face problems, the way you react, the actions you take is what matters. Rock bottom, you do have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose to make the life you want. Rock bottom turns people to drugs sometimes. Rock bottom turns people to the bottle sometimes just to cope. And the biggest thing that I think I've learned in these past few years, because I'll never forget the question I asked myself when I got out of high school. This years ago. Hell, fuck, we're going on 13 years ago, man, that I graduated. 13 years ago. I was still in high school, 12th grade, and getting closer to graduating. But I remember when that first year graduated, first year after high school, I didn't go straight to college. I took a year off. I shouldn't have, but at the same time, good did come out of it. Ain't like it would. I didn't waste my time, but I also should have did this, did that. I'm glad I didn't go to college. Let's put it that way, right? But there's other things I should have done at the time. Because I remember originally I was going to go to college to be a teacher. Was that right? Yeah, I was going to be a teacher and / preacher. That's what I was wanting to be, teacher / preacher. And it's funny because one of my best friends from high school went that route. Not the teaching part, but he became a preacher. And it's just really cool how that works out. But yeah, I don't regret not going. Anyway, back on topic. The biggest thing I take from, I remember the biggest thing at all that is, why do some people achieve things they want and others don't? At that time, I couldn't understand the answer to that question. But throughout the past decade and 13 years, I understand it's not execution. They didn't take action. They get caught up in the distractions, especially nowadays. As technology's taking over. Oh man, technology's taking over big time. But there's some good in it, especially for those at rock bottom looking to get up. If you're a competitive person, a lot of people are distracted by these phones, man. A lot of people are distracted by Netflix. That puts you at advantage while you're at rock bottom. Why? Because it makes the competition a little bit easier to surpass because they're following distractions. They're on TikTok all day while you're trying to build something. And also, if you use technology right, it's a great platform. Great learning source, resource, everything about it. Small things matter. So let's say you are at rock bottom or you're feeling super overwhelmed by some problem. Because you could have some things going right, but in some areas of your life, you are at rock bottom. Like, you rock bottom socially or something, rock bottom ain't got to be like an around the wheel thing, meaning every single circumstance of your life is gone, right? You can be rock bottom at your career or rock bottom in, like I said, your relationship with your wife or your significant other, and whatever, The question is, how do you get out of there? How do you change? How do you break a habit? What habits are destroying you, right? That was brought up in the video. Figure that out. And these past couple of podcasts ago, I talked about habits and the importance of habits. And the importance of habits, right? And going from there. Replacing your back, because you can't just quit a habit because you have time that you got to spend doing something. So to break a habit, I recommend detoxing. If it's like a big thing, it gives you dopamine. Like if you watch porn, it's a big dopamine hit. If you're addicted to video games, big dopamine hit, There's some drugs that give you a big dopamine hit. How do you get out of that? Well, you figure out other ways to do it. Dopamine detox is great if you use it correctly. I've always been big on dopamine detox, but at the same time, if you go into a dopamine detox with saying, I'm taking a 2-week break from this stuff, I won't be touching it for 2 weeks. And that's great for that 2-week period. But then 2 weeks pass and you get back into it. It depends on how bad you get back into it. Because if you go 2 weeks with no gaming at all to quit your gaming addiction and get dopamine from outside sources, and you get through those 2 weeks, and then, week 3 comes around, you're allowed to play those games again, and you go back to where you was. If you used to be gaming 5 or 6 hours a day, and then that week 3 starts, oh yeah, Monday day, baby, here we go. Just got off work Monday night, time to play some games. I'm allowed to now. Dopamine detox is over. And if you indulge another, 5-6 hours in that game, then you're kind of putting yourself back at square one. But if you can find other ways to get dopamine, rewarding ways, So if you're at rock bottom, what I suggest you do, I suggest you sit down, you define what you want, and get clear on what your problem is. Say, why am I at rock bottom? Why am I feeling this way? What do I want in my life? How do I get out of rock bottom? What is my definition of rock bottom? And be honest with you. And heck, you might not be at your definition of rock bottom, but you might be in an area of your life or a time in your life where you want something new, something different. Like something has to change, Let's just say I'm overweight. I'm getting older. I always said I was going to have this great body, but yeah, here I am. Whatever age you are, 35, 40, 30, 38, 39, 20, 18. Shit. Wherever you are in your life, be like, okay, when the fuck's it going to start? It's going to start right now. Don't say tomorrow. Shit, no, don't say tomorrow. If your goal is to get in shape, don't say tomorrow. Say right now. And right now doesn't have to be, it doesn't mean, okay, right now I got to do this. So what can you do right now? step is writing down what it will take for me to do this, to study, to learn, watch videos. Even if this is the first step, watch videos to help me learn how to get myself in better shape. You know? And then if you just go that right direction, you can't just stop at the learning part. But the learning part on something that you are passionate about will give you a hit of dopamine, and it will trick your brain to think that you are actually achieving it. Because you are making progress, but you don't have the final go. Does that make sense? So start small. I'll give you an example. This year, I have been wanting to be more cardiovascular. Let me say. Okay, in terms of working out, I want to do more cardiovascular activities because I love lifting weights, man. But if looking at my trend for the past couple of years, I've not done a lot of cardio. Hell, I don't even do as much cardio as I used to. I do a 10-minute walk on the treadmill, hit the weights. And then sometimes if I strap on time, what am I sacrificing? I'm not sacrificing time on the iron. I'm sacrificing my walk on the treadmill. And to also be fair, I do walk a lot during the day. I average about 12,000 steps a day, according to my watch that I don't wear. I don't have right now. My arm's still healing up. So I'm not wearing a watch. And I still catch myself looking at my wrist because I've worn that watch for about a year and a half consistently. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of my podcasts this past year. I've not had a lot of podcasts in 2024 and 2023. I think I bought the watch in 2024. Let me phrase that. I think my wife bought me that watch in 2024. I didn't buy it. I had an older one too. It's probably in some of the 2023 podcasts and 2022 podcasts. Anyway, I want to get more cardiovascular. Well, at first I was like, okay, well then I'll just do more treadmill time. Turns out I didn't do it. I didn't. So I was like, okay, something's got to change, man. So hell, back in February at the end of the month, I bought Fitness Boxing on Switch because I was like, I can probably commit to like 10 minutes at home before the gym or after the gym, during a time where I am getting ready for work. I could spend 10 minutes a day doing a boxing workout. And it's just one little workout on Fitness Boxing Switch 3 or Fitness Boxing 3 for the Switch. So I would do a 10-minute workout. And it was different, but it was good. It did what it needed to do because I played through March. And then I realized something. And this is something I think that can carry out in all areas of life. The more you do something, the easier it gets. Because that first Fitness Boxing workout, I was not really interested in I think it was the 10-minute workout, but realistically, I think it was more like a 20-minute workout. And at the end of 20 minutes, it's like, oh, thank God I'm done, and it's like that for like a week. Like, I'm done, yeah. It's like, this is dragging on, I hate it. But hell, not yesterday, like 2 days ago, because I'm still playing it. But throughout the month of March, I learned the brain's adaptability power. The more you do something, the easier it gets. And I feel like the less energy it requires. Because, like, if you're always tired when you get off work, but you have a goal. I'll say 2 weeks is going to be rough. Like, if you say you really want to change your life, but you don't got the time to do it, you got to sacrifice something. So that means I got to go home and spend at least blank amount of time doing this. And then that'll be a successful day of me trying to get out of my situation or something like that. Say you want a new job and you're miserable at your job that you're currently at. But let's say you work a 9 to 5. So you're up, getting ready, you got to work from 9 to 5. You're so tired when you get home, you feel like you don't have the energy to do anything. Start small. Like, okay, when I get home, before I allow myself to sit on that couch and relax, if that's something you do, because it's something I would do, before you get on the couch to relax, I have to start with 10 minutes. Or you can go to my favorite number, 9. Start with 9 minutes. If you don't like odd numbers, do 10. If you don't like even, do 9. If you don't like the number 9 for some reason, do 7. If you like even odd numbers still, you just don't like 9. Anyway, spend that amount of time trying to see how you can find yourself a new career or job. And then as the days go by, you'll learn the 9 minutes. Now, let me just finish what I'm saying first. I have a hard time with rambling off and then having to go back. I have to just remember that I need to learn how to take mental notes because I'm trying to work on my communication skills too. That's another reason why I need to become more consistent with this podcast. Yeah, you get those 9 minutes down and you do it the next day, and then do it the next day, and then do it the next day. You know, if you get the urge to go longer than the time amounted, like say you're going to do 10 minutes and you go 10 minutes, but you're still motivated to keep going, for all means, keep going. Don't stop just because you reach the time. Now, if you reach 10 minutes and you feel like you're done, you're like, okay, I'm done. I did what I said I was going to do. I'm done. I'm more tired, you know. But you'll learn as the month goes on that, hey, I'm not as tired as I was when I first did this. Heck, I'm putting more time in it, you know. Heck, I'm putting an hour every day when I get home trying to find me a new career, a new walk of life, a new passion for life. You know, your brain adapts. And you'll learn, you will eventually get dopamine from it. And your body will want to do it. When you do something consistently over and over again, depending on your mind frame of it and your mindset of it and your passion for it, your brain will start to, crave it. Like, I gotta do something, man. Come on, I gotta do it. Come on, get your ass on there. Work on this for an hour or so, If you start doing a streaming business, you want to Twitch stream or make YouTube videos, you got to have a passion for it because, boy, is it time consuming. Trust me, I tried consistently in 2016 and I learned it ain't all fun and games and it ain't all easy. It is a commitment. And at that time, I was able to make a commitment. But to be where I wanted to be in that field, I would needed even more commitment than what I was given, and I wasn't going to do that. And then I eventually got so busy in other areas of life, and I was like, ooh, I'd rather do this, and I'd rather do that, because it was different. Anyway, point of the topic today, let's go back to my fitness boxing, me getting more cardio vascular with my workouts. I went through the month of March. I've done it consistently every week. Not every day, because I did have off days where I focused, okay, I'm doing a gym workout, I'm not playing the game. Unless I had the opportunity to play it. But now, if I have an opportunity to play, I love to do it. Now, to be fair, today I was a little sluggish. I didn't really feel it today, but I still did it. And at the end of it, I'm glad I did. It energized me. And that's something that if I can, like working out the gym, energizes me. It's therapy for me, kind of, It gets my mind out of the funk if I'm in a funk, and it energizes me for the day. Like I can go to the gym with no pre-workout and did that tired at the end of the day, but yet I'll still have a hard time going to bed. That's the only downfall of me going to the gym at night, because I'll go to the gym, work out, get a pump, and then I feel energized. My brain's like, yes, you did it. I'm ready. What else you want to do, man? What else you want to do? But start small. Small things matter. And now, like April so far, today's the 10th of me recording this. I've played that boxing game every day. And hell, I went for an hour the other day. And I was enjoying every second of it, dude. It was so fun. And then I just think back, like, I was like, dude, I had a hard time starting it up. But once I got going, the momentum spoke for itself. So if you're at rock bottom, first thing you need to realize is, what is keeping me here? And then, maybe it's just a shitty circumstance or something happened, then okay, be like, all right, well, this thing was shitty and then maybe it was out of your control. Say you got laid off from a factory or something. That's something out of your control, right? Be like, oh man, what am I gonna do for money? I got laid off. Let's say you got laid off from work, or this company closed or something like that, or they had to make budget cuts and your name came up on the list at the office. Say, hey man, going home, Or you've had a circumstance where, something happened and here you are, What do you do? Well, first thing you'd be like, okay, for a little bit, I've got to cut out my distractions or plan my distractions, Meaning, cutting out distractions, you guys obviously know the definition of it is, it's like, I ain't doing shit. cutting everything out. Planning distractions means you can set up distraction time, but that is more advanced, meaning that you really have to control your willpower, and never start your day off with a distraction. Because when you wake up, you only got so much dopamine to release. So if you fry all your dopamine, fry is a bad word. If you use all your dopamine or pull out all the marbles, marbles, aka dopamine releasers, you pull all your marbles out playing a game in the morning or strolling on social media in the morning or whatever, your brain uses to release dopamine, whatever that it factor is for you. If you start the morning like that, you won't feel like doing shit. Don't start the morning turning on Pornhub. Don't start the morning, whacking your dick off. But start the morning doing what you want. So plan your distraction time, or I recommend cutting your distraction time at first. Like today, no distractions. I got to get this done. Figure out what you want and figure out how you're currently using your time, and then cut some things out. If you feel like you don't have time to do something, see how you're using your time and see what distractions to cut out. And then be like, okay, what habits do I need to be building to get to where I want to be? How do I get out of this situation? Because nothing changes, nothing changes. Change is a constant in life, yes. But in terms of your character, nothing changes unless you change. You're at a shitty job. Well, that won't change. It won't. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I got a new job. Without action, that is. Now, yes, you could wake up one day and have a new job if you took the action. But that's because you changed and done something. If you're at rock bottom completely and you're at an area in your life where you've wasted so much time, you don't know where to start, what's your environment look like? Let's get your brain together. If your area around you is cluttered, start by making a commitment that, hey, I need to start cleaning. I need to get my environment organized. That way my brain can be organized. So that start small could just be cleaning your room, cleaning your house. Have that cleaning time. So instead of waking up and feeding yourself with social media or turning on your PlayStation 5 and playing a game, start your morning by, okay, I need to get up. I need to do whatever my morning routine could be. And if one of my goals is getting the house organized and clean for spring cleaning, then I need to wake up. I need to do my breathing. I need to move around, get my body moving. So how do I get my body moving? It could be a workout, or it could be just getting started. Like, okay, I need to move my body around. The dishes need to get done. I'm going to go do the dishes. Or I'm going to move around. I'm going to wake up, spend 10 minutes picking up the floor. Or spend 10 minutes cleaning my room. 10 minutes cleaning the bathroom. 10 minutes cleaning the living room. You get what I'm saying. Spend some time. Do the things you don't want to do. Get moving. If the sun's out, get outside. Go for a walk. Go for a run. Get outside. Let that light get into you. If it ain't sunny out, then still get moving, get the lights on, get moving, move your body, wake your body up by moving, And I know something different between me and my wife when it comes to waking up. I'm able to get up in an instant, but at the same time, I had trained myself to do that. My wife's hard to get out of bed. Yeah, she'll wake up and she'll lounge around. Unless something exciting is going on. Because we went to a massage competition last month. And I never seen her get up so fast in my life. She got up so fast. But she was competing. And it was day 2 of the competition. And it started early. Like way earlier than what she normally gets up. But she was up at the first alarm. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. But I always credit myself for the ability to getting up so fast because I trained myself. Because back when I had a hard time getting up years ago, I would always put my phone, which was my alarm clock, in an area where I had to get up to go turn it off. I couldn't just reach over and hit the snooze button. I had to get up. and move my body. That's the thing. Move your body. So small things matter. I'm wrapping this episode up because I want to keep it under 30 minutes. Kind of went over 30 minutes already. Small things matter. So if you are at rock bottom, look at where you're at. What do you want to change? Pick one small thing to change and start with that. And then go from there. If it's going to the gym, start by whatever your baseline is. If you never drove into the gym, we'll start with the drive to the gym. Getting the membership set up. And then you do the next thing. And then you do the next thing. You keep pushing your boundaries. Don't just stay comfortable and bringing your shoes to the door every day. Get that done and be like, okay, what's the next step? I'll put the shoes here, and then I'll put my clothes out. Okay, then I got that done. And I'll put my shoes here, put my clothes out, put my clothes on, get in the car. And then the next day, if you have to, go to the next step. Just get yourself exposed to that. Use time and leverage time the best you can. And that's the end of today's podcast. I appreciate you guys listening. I'll give you a toast real quick with my pre-workout. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in May. Hopefully in May.